What if I told you that the true engine of success is not hard work, luck, or even intelligence, but consciousness itself? Success is not simply the accumulation of achievements. It's the natural byproduct of aligning your awareness with the deepest truths of existence. When you awaken to the infinite field of possibilities within, you stop chasing outcomes and start attracting them effortlessly. Consciousness is not something you use to succeed. It is the very ground of success. The moment you recognize this truth, your life stops being a struggle and becomes a graceful unfolding of your highest potential. Every moment of your life, whether you are aware of it or not, you are shaping the reality you experience. The circumstances you encounter, the people who cross your path, the opportunities that arise or fail to arise, are not random events. They are reflections, manifestations of the state of your consciousness. It is not the external world that determines the quality of your life, but the inner lens through which you perceive it. This is why two people can walk through the same situation and have completely different experiences. One sees obstacles and defeat, the other sees lessons and hidden opportunities. The difference lies in the level of awareness they bring to the moment. Awareness is the starting point of all creation. When you become conscious of your thoughts, that each one is each one is a seal in the fertile planting in the fertile soil of the universe. A thought is not just a fleeting spark in the brain, it carries an energetic frequency that interacts with everything around you. A thought infused with fear sends out a vibration that attracts more situations to confirm that fear. A thought infused with trust, openness, and possibility sets in motion a chain of events that align with that trust. The universe is not arbitrary, it is responsive. And your awareness is the signal it responds to. Most people live in a state of unconscious programming. They are replaying the same patterns, the same emotional responses, the same mental narratives day after day, without ever realizing that these internal patterns are the architects of their reality. They try to change the external circumstances, thinking that success will come when the world bends to their will. But without a shift in awareness, the same results will continue to surface, because the source, the consciousness generating those results, remains unchanged. When you step into true awareness, you begin to observe your thoughts rather than being swept away by them. You recognize the difference between a thought that is rooted in scarcity and one that is rooted in abundance. This awareness is powerful because the moment you notice a limiting thought, you also create the possibility to choose a new one. This is the birth of conscious creation. You move from being a passive participant in life to becoming an active co-creator with the universe. Success, in this sense, is not something you chase. It is something you allow. You align your inner state with the outcome you desire, and the external world rearranges itself accordingly. Imagine a radio that is tuned to a certain frequency. It can only receive the stations that broadcast on that frequency. If your awareness is tuned to doubt, fear, and resistance, then the broadcast of your life will mirror those energies. But the moment you tune your awareness to clarity, gratitude, and possibility, the entire landscape of your reality begins to shift. And opportunities that were once invisible start to reveal themselves simply because your awareness has become a match for them. This is not about denying challenges or pretending difficulties do not exist. It is about seeing them through a lens of higher awareness, where even obstacles become catalysts for growth. When you are aware, you do not fall into the trap of identifying with the challenge. You recognize it as a temporary expression of a deeper pattern that you have the power to change. And in that recognition, you reclaim your freedom. You stop reacting from old conditioning and start responding from conscious choice. Think of the most successful people in any field, not just in terms of material wealth, but in fulfillment, creativity, and contribution. What sets them apart is not that they never fail, but that their awareness allows them to see failure as information, not as identity. They are able to adapt, learn, and pivot because their focus is not locked in the past or in fear of the future. Their awareness stays anchored in the present moment, where the field of possibility is always alive and available. You have this same ability. Right now, in this very moment, you can choose to step into greater awareness. You can notice the quality of your talk, the tonergy behind your self-talk, or energy behind your intentions. And as you bring awareness to them, you can consciously choose those that serve your highest good. This is not a one-time decision. It is a daily practice, a continual returning to the truth that your reality begins in your mind and heart. When you live with this level of awareness, success is no longer a distant goal. It becomes a natural reflection of your inner state. The outer achievements will come, but they will be born from a foundation that is steady, expansive, and deeply aligned with who you truly are. You will no longer be at the mercy of circumstances because you will understand that circumstances are simply the echo of your own consciousness. Change the source and the echo must change. And so the first and most profound step towards success is not to do more but to become more aware. Awareness is the seed, awareness is the soil, awareness is the sunlight that allows your potential to grow into reality. When you master your awareness, you master the art of creating a life that reflects the highest vision you hold for yourself. When you quiet the restless activity of your mind, you open the door to something far more powerful than anything the thinking mind can produce. Stillness is not emptiness. It is fullness in its purest form. In that space of silence, there is an ocean of creative intelligence waiting to be tapped. We have been conditioned to believe that creativity is the result of effort, struggle, and constant mental activity. But the truth is, the most profound ideas, the most innovative solutions, and the most life-changing insights often arise when the mind is at ease, free from the turbulence of incessant thought. Think of the moments in your life when inspiration came suddenly and without warning. Perhaps it was during a walk in nature, a quiet early morning, or just before falling asleep. Those moments were not the result of pushing harder. They were the result of allowing. In stillness, you stop trying to control the flow of life and instead become receptive to it. You step out of the way so that infinite intelligence of through universe can move through you without obstruction. The mind is like a lake. When the surface is agitated with waves, you cannot see into its depths. But when it becomes calm and still, it reflects the light clearly and reveals the treasures beneath. Stillness allows your awareness to settle into deeper layers of consciousness where new possibilities emerge. Possibilities you could never have accessed through logic alone. This is why some of the most successful innovators, artists, and thinkers have relied on periods of deep rest and contemplation to generate their most groundbreaking work. When you make stillness a daily practice, you begin to notice a shift in how you approach challenges. Instead of reacting impulsively from fear or frustration, you start to respond from a place of clarity. Problems that once seemed complicated begin to dissolve, not because the circumstances change instantly, but because your perception changes. You stop seeing them as obstacles and start seeing them as invitations to create. In that space, your mind is no longer clouded by worry. It becomes a clear channel for insight to flow. The paradox is that when you stop forcing solutions, the solutions arrive naturally. This is the nature of consciousness. It organizes itself in ways that the limited mind cannot predict. Stillness is the bridge between you and that organizing power. In this space, time loses its grit, and you enter what athletes call the zone, where action becomes effortless, and the right moves happen without conscious planning. This is not magic. It is the natural rhythm of life when you align with it instead of resisting it. Cultivating stillness does not mean withdrawing from the world or becoming passive. It means anchoring yourself in the source of all action before you take action. It means allowing every word, decision, and step to be infused with the wisdom of presence rather than the noise of urgency. Even a few moments of conscious stillness throughout the day can recalibrate your energy and open a channel for creativity that remains hidden in the constant rush of doing. You will find that as stillness deepens, your relationship to success begins to transform. Success is no longer just about achieving goals. It becomes about expressing the fullness of your being. You discover that the more connected you are to stillness, the more naturally your actions carry power, precision, and purpose. Opportunities begin to flow toward you, not because you are chasing them, but because you have become a magnet for them. People sense your presence, your clarity, your calm, and they are drawn to it. Ultimately, stillness is not something you achieve. It is your natural state when the chatter of the mind subsides. Beneath every thought, beneath every emotion, there is a field of awareness that is untouched by circumstances. This is the source from which all true creativity arises. When you learn to rest in that space, even for a few moments, you carry it with you into every interaction, every decision, every creation, and from there, success is not something you pursue. It is something that flows effortlessly into your life. Success, in its truest form, is not a goal you chase, nor is it a prize waiting for you at the end of some arduous journey. It is an expression of who you are when you are fully aligned with your authentic self. This is why, despite many people feel and achievements, still feel an appearance of success, for the H is taken for the essence of its not presence of. Real success cannot be measured only by what you accumulate, what you own, or how much recognition you receive. It is measured by the degree to which you are living in harmony with the deepest truth of your being. When you are connected to that truth, your actions are no longer driven by fear, competition, or the need for validation. You move from a state of striving to a state of allowing. Striving is born out of the belief that something is missing, that you must run faster, work harder, or push yourself beyond your natural rhythm to get it. Allowing is the recognition that what you seek already exists within you, and by being in alignment with your inner self, you invite it into your life with ease. Think of a tree. It does not struggle to grow. It does not compare itself to other trees or force its branches to stretch in unnatural directions. It simply draws from its roots, nourished by the earth and sunlight, and expresses its unique form. The fruits it bears are not achieved through stress or competition. They are a natural result of being fully itself. In the same way, when you are deeply rooted in your own consciousness, your life blossoms naturally. The key is awareness. Many people spend their lives looking outward for signs of progress, forgetting that the outer world is a reflection of their inner state. If there is turbulence within, there will be turbulence without. If there is harmony within, that harmony will shape the conditions of your life. You don't have to force success. You embody it by cultivating the qualities that resonate with your highest self. Peace, clarity, compassion, creativity, and joy. This shift from doing to being is not passive. It is the most powerful transformation you can experience. When you are fully present and aligned, your actions become more effective because they arise from a place of centered intention rather than reactive impulse. You stop wasting energy on paths that are not meant for you, and you begin to notice how life conspires to support you in ways you could not have planned. Synchronicities appear, doors open, The right people cross your path at the right moment. And because you are operating from your true self, you recognize these opportunities and act on them without hesitation or doubt. Living in alignment also transforms your relationship with challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats to your success, you see them as invitations to deepen your awareness. You recognize that every difficulty holds the seed of growth, and you meet it with curiosity rather than resistance. In this way, what others might call failure becomes part of your unfolding, shaping you into a more expansive version of yourself. And perhaps the most beautiful aspect of this way of living is that it transcends personal gain. When you are fully yourself, you naturally become a source of inspiration, love, and upliftment for others. Your presence alone begins to awaken in people the same sense of possibility and freedom that you have discovered. You contribute to the well-being of the whole, but not because you are trying to, but because of being aligned with your essence, of being aligned with your hone, because being aligned with your essence. This is why success, as the expression of being, is so liberating. It frees you from the endless chase, from the illusion that your worth is dependent on achievements, and from the fear of losing what you have gained. You begin to live with a sense of trust, knowing that your life is an extension of something timeless and infinite. And from this place, you are not only successful, you are fulfilled. When you live from your true self, you don't just achieve success, you become it.